my math is never great, but anyway, that is welcome to. That's the practice game. So let's talk through a little bit of strategy. All right. I'm going to shuffle these up and reset the game. Oh, nice. Very cool. I love that you're playing along. Now, question for you: when you said you got the when you got the first goal, was that you getting the first goal, or was that me getting the first goal? Because I think we were pretty darn close. And when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I think I have it too. Oh yeah, I think so. Nice. That's fun. Very cool. So I think we just leave the let's leave these cards, these goals out, and let's rock and roll one more time if you want. We're gonna talk a little bit of strategy. Yeah, I think we did tie that up. You know, this 5 biz, I would like to try to finish that one, and these pools are super tough. All right, let me pause some music. All right, so some strategy chat here. So I'd love to hear others' opinions about strategy. I want to just talk about a few things that I've noticed in this game, and of course I'm not an expert at this one yet, but I would like to continue to grow and get better and learn at it. So one of the biggest things that you notice as you play a few times is the distribution of numbers. Okay, so there are a very few. There's only 3 1s and 2s, 3 14s and 15s. So when those come up, you better use them. Is what I've kind of figured out, right? So not every number is the same because that distribution is so different. And then all the way up to the 9s, or the 8s, I guess the central number, there are the most 8s in the game. So if you pick an 8 early, or if when you're choosing those numbers, when you see them, if you find the right symbol for the 8, that's great. But if you find an acceptable symbol for a 13, 14, or 15, that might be a better decision because it comes up so much fewer times, right? All right, so then I would kind of go into the goals a little bit. So the goals are quite different, right? Yeah, it is super fun, right? Real estate is great for points. I'm a huge parks and pools fan as well. I think pools are a nice little challenge. Parks are kind of freebies, but yeah. So let's talk about those real quick. So kind of going into the icons like left to right. So first off, we got parks. Parks. There are 3 different rows. Clearly, the lowest, the third row, will potentially score you the most on parks, but it really is critical that you hit that 18 because that's a 10-point jump right there. Again, really is critical that you hit that, like you max it out, right? So you need 5 parks, 4 parks, 3 parks, if you want to max those things out. And I think that's really what you need to do when you're doing parks. With pools, like you don't necessarily need to have them in the same row, but you can really boost a lot of points just by going for pools. I have not seen anyone get them all, but like I think that would be like a super cool feeling to just crush 36 points on pools. I think pools is a little bit luck based because as you saw in there, like we had like a 15 pool come up, and sure enough you could have put a 15 pool here and then bizzed it later, but we also had a 13 pool. So if you see where the pools are, there's like one that's kind of in the 1 spot, one that's in the 2 spot, one that's in the 3, one that's in the 4. Nothing in the 5, nothing in the 6. There's one in the 7, I think. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 in the 8, and then what do we got here? 11, one in the 11. So like the pools are in weird spots, and you kind of need to have them come up in the low numbers, I would say, to do really well and effective on the pools. So first off, that's kind of like a coin flip whether or not pools are going to pay out. I think that they can pay out really well. Like 36 is a lot of points for only 9 of your marks. Real estate though seems to be like one of the cash cows, I would say. Construction, you're only ever going to score 7 points at most. But real estate is one of those cash cows, and I think you always need to have your eyeball on real estate. and potentially parlaying that with one of the goal cards or two of the goal cards. And I think that is, at least in base Welcome To, that is probably, like you said, it's probably one of the stronger strategies. Biz, I think, is one of those like wild cards where, I have seen people go fast and do things in the game that actually helps them get this real estate, accomplish more real estates than someone else, and really bump them up. I don't think you want to go too deep into Biz because that can be pretty punishing. And then the other thing being the survey or the fence. So the fence is directly correlated with that real estate. So if you're taking real estate, you better also be taking some fences along the way, and hopefully allocating them in good spots, right? You don't want to have holes in between your houses. You want to be, condensed, but as you saw, if you play too condensed or too weighted, like left or right, I think you can run into trouble. So you want to have a little, a pretty good spread, I would say, and try to use the edges when you can, but don't rely too heavy on one edge like I did. I think I made kind of a beginner mistake here, that everything was packed in, and there were 2 or 3 turns where I really had garbage choices because I did that. So anyway, that's kind of the strategy that I'm picking up on a little bit, and Welcome To.